Yo, what's up, guys? It's Smacktalking Amigos, week number 5. This is James and
Kian.
And this week we are, of course, going to be talking about WWE and your week in WWE, and also TNA, which I must say, first things first, Bound for Glory.
It went ahead.
Went ahead. We were sort of speculating it might not do.
Yeah, as reported last week, they were having financial problems. Someone bailed them out. It's not being said who yet, so the obvious possibility would be Vinnie McMahon or me. Yeah, I have a bit of cash stashed away somewhere.
I think, with your bit of cash, you could probably buy TNA for about £25.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I think it's in that much of financial ruin that they'd sell it for about £1.
I would hate to see it go under like we discussed last week, but Bound for Glory was a success. And hopefully, I know they did the tapings after, so hopefully it is slowly rolling on. We've seen TNA be in this sort of position before.
Yes, we have, and they came through it with obviously Dixie Carter taking over. Who takes over now? Is it Billy Corgan, or is it someone new? Is it Ring of Honor?
I think Vinny takes it. I think Vinnie McMahon will take it.
I think it's rise for WWE to have another promotion on their books, because we saw in the early years they had OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling, to drop down talent, because as we were saying, NXT isn't a development brand anymore.
It's its own brand
in itself. So TNA don't want to call it a development brand, but superstars like Bo Dallas could get better over there. Yeah,
well, that and more airtime and that sort of thing over there, if you ask me. We didn't say where we're coming from. Today we are, of course, coming from the great city of Miami today.
Yes, we are.
For the WrestleMania arena, James and Kian, Smacktalking Amigos first tour. We're not really from Miami, we're coming from the venue in the wonderful city of Bournemouth, where we both come from. Yeah. And we're hoping to make a big thing.
As we're on TNA, I would like to bring up a point. It was in FSM, Free Spirit magazine this month. Bobby Lashley was saying that the superstars that have done it before, Brock Lesnar has gone into MMA, UFC, as we know, and he's done WWE and he's come back. But Bobby Lashley is the first superstar that is doing it simultaneously, and he's fighting at Bellator next weekend in the main event. Is it possible for more superstars to do UFC, MMA and wrestling?
Well, I know what you're getting at. You're getting at Conor McGregor.
Yes, I'm getting at Conor McGregor. I'm a big Mac fan. I'll always be a big Mac fan, and he's going to knock Eddie Alvarez out at 205 and become the lightweight champion of the world. For me, I'm cheering for Alvarez. You know I am. I'm not a McGregor fan. However, I respect McGregor, and I see him as being a potential huge WWE star if he ever came across. Yes. The fact that Lashley is doing both at the same time, we'll have to see this week in Bellator. Yeah. We'll have to see, will he be able to compete in Bellator and be the TNA World Heavyweight Champion like he is? Yeah. Although I did see some spoilers this week, but we won't go into them because, as we said, the problem with TNA is that spoilers come out very, very spoiler heavy because they tape their show 4 weeks in advance. So that's not so good. Anyway, moving on very quickly, I wanted to talk to you about Raw and SmackDown this week. Yeah. In my opinion, SmackDown again was the better show this week. Yeah, SmackDown was the better show, I think. I think Raw got slightly better. There were a few new feuds that I like. I continue to like the Cesaro Sheamus segment. They're going to obviously change the New Day for the tag team titles at Hell in a Cell. Do you think they'll win it? I mean, we talked about it last week. You said about the New Day, sort of trying to beat Demolition's record of 400 days. I think that Sheamus and Cesaro have a real chance. Yeah, I think they have a real chance, and I think they are heading towards that way. Whether they do it at Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series, they're going to win it in the month of November, because they both got promised a championship match. No one would have predicted that it would have been a dead heat Well, not only that, no one would have predicted how, like we said last week, how well
the matches would have gone.
Exactly, they were amazing last week, and you know the whole shtick that they had this week. You know, where they showed up together in the car and they weren't getting on, and you know they had the match where they were sort of trying to one up each other. Cesaro slightly botched that move off of Sheamus's back. At the end, but still, you know, being Cesaro made it look great.
And they're going to be a fantastic tag team. Obviously, they're doing this for the audience at the moment. I say they win it in the month of November, whether it's Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series.
I think that we'll see them win it, and you know, it'd be great to see them and a new tag team champions. Finally.
For 430 odd days it will be.
Because for me, I mean, it actually brings us quite nicely onto the next part of the show. Obviously, the New Day went up against Jericho this week. The New Day, really good on the mic, but I just think he's getting a little bit old. I would like to see him turn heel, for what it's worth.
I'd like them to see turn heel, or I'd like to see a kind of split up like we saw with the Shield with the New Day. So I'd like Big E Langston to instigate it.
And you know, if you look at them together, they are all getting more airtime as individual wrestlers. We know what Kofi can do. We've seen him fight a million times. Big E obviously had a huge push. Sort of didn't get any heat, so they put him in the New Day, and now he's a huge star. And Xavier Woods looks really solid in the ring.
While we're on I would like to give out Burn of the Week to Xavier Woods on Kevin Owens. Wow.
Saying that he's never, when he's ever jumped.
He hasn't jumped over anything for a while. Wow.
You say that about me, don't you? I haven't jumped over anything for a while. And because of that, once again I had to take your World Championship.
And I liked it because we saw Chris Jericho have a bit of animosity when he said, it's not like I was going to ask you for a Universal title shot or anything.
You can see them leading up for that. I think it will be...
I hope it's at Hell in a Cell.
I do as well.
At Hell in a Cell, in Hell in a Cell.
Well,
I hope.
The problem is that they've given a Hell in a Cell match to Rusev and Reigns. Coming up this week.
And they only have 2 Hell in a Cell matches every year on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So there are rumours going around that Sasha and Charlotte will be in a Hell in a Cell match. First ever women's Hell in a Cell match. And it's rumoured to be the first ever women's headlining a pay-per-view.
Well, can I say... you know, we're huge fans of women wrestling here. I've noticed in our past podcasts when I've been listening back to them, obviously nothing that we do scripted, that we speak a lot about women's wrestling, and that's because we're so impressed with it. For me, the best women's match I have ever seen this past week on Raw. And I know that you like the NXT matches, particularly Bayley versus Sasha. But for me, this week, I mean, some of the spots in that match, huge.
And it showed you that they trust each other so much that they're willing to spot various kinds of moves, suicide dives. When in the world, over the last 10 years, have you seen women do suicide dives?
Charlotte's backflip off the top rope to the outside was a huge spot.
And a combo that run it for Sasha, Hurricanrana to bank statement, to pin from Charlotte, back to a bank statement, to a tap out. I'm a massive fan of the women's wrestling, and I think they went back a step when Lita and Trish finished. They called it the Divas title for so many years, and they're not divas, they're women. We are all equal, and I think they deserve to main event a pay-per-view, but I think they needed to main event a Raw first, and they got over.
Well, when was the last time we've seen women's wrestling main event Raw, and they were absolutely spectacular, especially considering they were main eventing Raw over Owens and Jericho versus the New Day. Huge. The other part on Raw that I would like to talk about is now, why does his name escape me? Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman
destroys another local competitor. Then gets on the mic and says to Mick Foley, I'm fed up with this.
I'm fed up with this. Give me better talent, or there might not be a Raw next week. So
it's like what I'm going to say to the camera now is that give me better talent to work with on Smacktalking Amigos, or I'm not turning up next week. I'm going to go to What Culture Wrestling.
Okay, go. We don't need you here.
Goodbye.
Okay. I'd like to say Mick Foley, please give him better talent, because we'd both like to see Monday Night Raw next week.
So who do we give him? Who do we give Raw, or is he on the pay-per-view this week? But I think for Raw next week particularly, who do we give Braun Strowman that is considered a bit, because Jack Swagger's now on SmackDown, who would have been the obvious choice to give him, really? Darren Young?
You've obviously got high-end mid-carders, you can't give him them because you obviously want him to get over. So you give him low mid-carders or mid-card them themselves.
Because I mean, you could give him Titus O'Neil?
The newly returned Titus O'Neil?
Cass?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like
to... Or do you trust him that much that he can get over with someone like Roman Reigns, Rusev or KO? Or Seth Rollins?
I heard him on the mic, and as I said to you, I heard him on the Stone Cold podcast a few weeks back. And he was really impressive, Braun Strowman. On the mic, he's really impressive, and in the ring, his moveset isn't limited. He's very quick for a big man. He was actually a big strongman competitor before he was a wrestler. I think you could trust him with someone like that. I think you could trust him with a Rusev type character, and for me,
they'd have a great match.
They'd have a great match. But that wouldn't be too hard to do, because for me, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Rusev Reigns feud this week, Reigns looked like the heel.
Yeah.
And Rusev looked like the guy who's saying, well, I got married, you tried to screw up my marriage.
Yeah.
Lana's out there saying you tried to screw up my marriage. Why are you doing that?
How good was Lana on the mic?
Amazing.
And I've said for a long time, I think the only way Roman Reigns can get over with the fans is if he turns heel or goes back to the Shield. The Shield obviously isn't happening anytime soon, even though I would like it to happen, so he has to turn heel.
Yeah, and it seemed like a slight heel turn without him doing anything to a babyface, which was strange, because Rusev is definitely not a babyface, but I think Rusev is getting over more. And if you heard Reigns' ovation in Los Angeles this week, wow.
Yeah.
Did he get booed, or did he get booed when he first came out?
You epitomised it last week. It's 10 seconds of cheer, then it will go back to normality, then it will go back to booing. So where is the point where Reigns will get cheered that he won't get booed out of the building? And that is turning him heel. Obviously a babyface hasn't worked. They're still trying to push him as the top babyface, but I think Seth Rollins is going to get that spot.
Did you find it weird with Seth this week, where after he interrupted the Jericho match, he came out and not only did he beat down Jericho and offered, gave him a pedigree, stared out Kevin Owens, but he also high-fived the New Day.
Yeah.
For me, Rollins is... I don't think he can be a complete babyface. I think he needs to have a bit of a heelish side with him. Listen, he's definitely becoming the top babyface in the company.
He's becoming the top babyface. Heelish side to him. I'd like him to be like a Dean Ambrose is. Dean Ambrose, I've alluded on it before, you don't know whether he's heel or face.
Yeah.
Seth won't be a complete babyface because everyone will remember his time at the Shield Authority, but he will be the top babyface on Monday Night Raw because Roman Reigns just isn't getting it. And I liked his segment with Stephanie in the back.
I did as well.
The first worst mistake that Triple H made was marrying Stephanie McMahon.
Don't want to hear that, do you?
No.
They're building up, and the section where he said, I'm going to start with Kevin Owens and I'm going to go through the whole of the Authority.
And that would just epitomise an architect. He built up the Authority, now he's just going to
tear it down again.
Tear it down.
So let's go through our predictions for... Now, what pay-per-view is it?
It is No Mercy pay-per-view for SmackDown, so...
Of course it is, SmackDown. Silly me. We don't need to go through those predictions.
I'd be kind of obliged to award you the Stupid Idiot Award there.
Yes, once again, now the Stupid Idiot Award comes back to me.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
You know what we're going to do, though? We're going to put this on the front for the SmackDown, because obviously we do have our SmackDown predictions coming up. But is there anything more that you want to say about Raw? Because I think next week will be interesting.
Yeah, next week will be interesting. I'd like to say that Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson did fantastic in their segment with Jericho, and on commentary as well.
I agree, and I think they didn't seem like they were celebrities at Raw. They looked like they were fans at Raw who happened to be celebrities, which is nice to see, because so many times when you see, you've seen Snoop Dogg at Raw, you've seen Donald Trump at Raw,
Wiz Khalifa. Well, Donald Trump owns Raw.
Yeah, of course he did own Raw at one stage, and eventually, he might own the world at one stage, which is a scary thought for all of us.
Save that for another day.
Yeah, let's leave that for today. I don't think we need to bring up something so serious at 10 o'clock on a Thursday morning.
No, you're already leaving me next week. So.
Yes, leaving you on a plane. But we'll discuss that just before the end. So let's move on to SmackDown and try and... Now, our Raw was slightly sporadic, so let's start SmackDown right at the beginning.
Yeah.
What did you think of SmackDown this week?
I thought it was good. I think it was a little bit down on last week's SmackDown, but it was still good. Randy Bray is obviously... I hope they have a match at No Mercy. I think they will have a match at No Mercy. But the opening segment was Bray Wyatt versus the Big Red Monster.
And Bray looks strong. All right, he didn't win. He got counted out. Yeah. Then Randy obviously locked him in a cell.
Yeah.
To be freed a bit later.
But the main question is, who is Sister Abigail?
So I saw What Culture do a video, right? And they suggested that it was a really interesting video. They suggested that Alexa Bliss should be Abigail eventually. I think's Abigail. I think that is Paige, if they're going to do it.
Yeah, they could do it that way. They could do another flip over. I was going to say Eva Marie. The returning Eva Marie could be Sister Abigail, but it would suit the Paige character so well that she's kind of an anti.
Yeah, we don't want it to be like a parody of like a demon, like we would have said. We want it to be like this Bayou, Southern American type character. Paige, everyone knows is English. But it wouldn't be difficult to make Paige or put Paige into the Wyatts. The other one that would be amazing, and she's not signed with WWE at the moment, but it would be an amazing coup if they could, is Awesome Kong.
Yes, she would be amazing. Or even though she's with a different promotion, Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary would be fantastic. One of the best parts of TNA at the moment.
It's the Decay. The final deletion match, I won't give anything away, but watch Bound for Glory in a few weeks.
Outstanding match, but she would be great. Or they don't pull the trigger on it and they make it a figment of Wyatt's imagination. But it was the first time we've seen Sister Abigail really brought into a feud in that, Bray disappeared out of the lockup.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, is impossible. And it's not The Undertaker anymore in the 90s.
No.
And they can't do those sort of things anymore. So how did he disappear out of the lockup? And maybe they'll explain why he always has such a sore voice when he talks as well. I think it might be because he's always in that smoky room.
Yeah. But like The Rock said at WrestleMania, he sounds like he's been hitting the bong 8 days straight.
Yeah, and actually the things he says, he sounds like he's been hitting the bongs 8 days straight.
Yeah, it's going. I liked Randy's mind games this week. Obviously, Bray has fantastic mind games, but Randy has equally as good mind games.
Is it just me, or do you think Randy's having so much fun at this angle?
I think he's having so much fun having a babyface, heelish, mind gamesy angle.
What shirt are you wearing today?
Roman Reigns.
You're wearing a Roman Reigns shirt?
Yeah.
Need I say any more? Bailey, Roman Reigns. One of the most over people on the old locker room, and
3-time world champion.
3-time world champion. Fair 3-time world champion. So SmackDown as well. One of the more interesting parts I saw of SmackDown, I wanted to big him up because I haven't at all up to this point, is Baron Corbin.
Yeah, we finally had a match between Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger.
Yeah, they've been facing each other down for weeks and weeks and weeks, but Baron Corbin was a typical old school heel in this match. Yeah. Even down to when he lost and he ripped apart the announce table. I think we need to have Baron Corbin as a heel that is not a traditional heel and that he, hates the fans. I just think that he doesn't really want to be in the business.
No.
It's a big FU to everybody,
Yeah, and he comes across the sort of character that would be fantastic in the right family.
Yeah.
Would be fantastic. A big 7'2" monster, doesn't really give a shit about wrestling.
Yeah,
and just wants to destroy everything.
And if they don't pull a trigger like that, they don't give him a faction to be with or anything like. You could see him, and I know he had a feud with him, but if Ziggler loses, and we'll go on to that.
Yeah.
Him teaming with Ziggler.
Yeah.
And they would team up. But if they don't do that, I think the way that they're booking him was much better this week. Jack Swagger again puts on a great match.
Yeah.
This week not much different than what he does in Raw, like we've seen them last week, which is a shame. But
the one thing between Raw and SmackDown with Jack Swagger is I think he'll get a title push with SmackDown, and I think it will be coming very soon. And we'll come on to it later, but I think it will be coming very soon.
Okay. Let's look at Dolph and say
the Spirit Squad came back.
Yes.
Kenny Dystra
looking good, looking in shape
still.
Yeah,
he's looking in fantastic
shape.
shape. Give me an O. Give me an L.
P.
H.
H.
How you do H? I don't know.
I think that Dolph Ziggler is going to have to retire, and I think that he will come back in, say, 6 months with a completely different angle. I am disappointed in that he's going to have to go, because he is one of my favourite wrestlers.
Yeah.
He just has never caught fire, because I don't think WWE's allowed him to catch fire.
No. Straight after winning the world title, that was the time to push him, but they never really gave him the push.
When he kicked Triple H in the Authority?
Yeah, they never really gave him a push. When he got the Authority out of business, never really gave him a push. With the world title, it was kind of like a CM Punk world title moment. He was just holding it until someone better came along. I don't know what Dolph Ziggler has to do. As we all know, these are WWE wrestlers. They wrestle 285 matches a year.
Mm-hmm.
They're away from their families 4 or 5 weeks at a time. Dolph Ziggler is one of the hardest working people. His mic skills are exceptional. He's got the ability to do it in the ring, but I don't know why WWE don't want him to be a champion.
I don't know why they don't. I also think he's too big a wrestler now to be a... I think he's bigger than the US and IC belt at the moment.
Yes.
But not as big to be a world champion.
No, not at the moment.
And I think that's where he struggles, because although the Intercontinental title has got huge credibility thanks to The Miz again, Dolph is slightly above that level.
Yeah, just slightly above the level, but I don't think he's above the level of The Miz.
No.
If you get what I'm going.
No, I hear what you're saying. In terms of draw and that sort of thing.
In terms of draw, The Miz has brought prestige back to the IC title. Arguably, whenever The Miz gets it, he brings prestige back to the title. I can't remember the last time the IC title had prestige. I wouldn't even go as far as saying Ambrose or Owens gave it prestige.
Well, I mean, but with Dolph, you look at the top, say, 5 pops on any show, and Dolph Ziggler is one of the top pops on any show he does. He's always going to be one of the top 5 pops, and that's huge. I mean, he gets a bigger pop for me than Roman gets.
Yeah.
He gets a bigger pop than The Miz would get.
Well, let's face it, you or I could get a bigger pop than Roman.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. At least for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah. Mine might be 11, but...
Don't want to talk about your pops for 11 seconds.
Okay.
There we go. Throw it out the bag.
Fair enough.
So
that was a normal.
That was you set yourself up for failure there.
I did.
Let's talk about the 3 men in the main event coming up at No Mercy.
Yep.
The amazing promo cut against John Cena.
Yeah,
now,
he never got mic time. They
feels
just
so
cut off
weird.
whenever he put his microphone up to his mouth. They just came back at him,
and they were slating him.
Yeah, slating him from every side of the corner of the arena. Part of it is true.
Yeah, I think so. I think an older John Cena, whether it was his fault or not, he did bury talent.
Yeah.
You know, he buried some angles.
I don't think it was his fault. I think it was WWE wanting to build him up. He is a franchise player, let's face it. I would say he's up there with The Rock as the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
But most of it is true. In the early years, he did bury talent, and whether it's his fault or I don't know. But now he's not burying talent. We've said it time and time again. Over the last 2 years, he's faced wrestlers like Zayn, Cesaro, Owens. Arguably, he got Owens over to
Rollins?
make it. Rollins. He arguably got Rollins over.
Do you say Reigns?
Reigns over. He gets so many
Everyone,
over. He even got Ambrose and Styles.
Well, you've got to
over.
look at Ambrose and Styles, who are the people that he's getting over now. I thought it was very interesting, and I think that they are making John the major baby face in that by having everyone against him.
Yes, and I'll lead on it that Dean Ambrose, you don't know whether he's going to be a heel or a face.
And that's good because it keeps everyone guessing, and I think it's good for Dean as well because let's see how the WWE fans react to him. Let's see whether they want him as a face or a heel, because he could do that interchanging thing very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another wrestler who did it. Roddy Piper did that pretty well.
Yeah.
Big Show did it terribly.
Yeah, well, Big Show changed his face to heel every other show.
Yeah.
So.
I think it was, 20 times in 10 years, wasn't it?
Yeah. He changed from face to heel.
Yeah.
You don't want him to back you up in a fight, let's put it that way.
No. Although he would be a good person to have behind you in a fight.
Yeah, but then you'd look for him to back you up, then he'd probably end up knocking
me out. Yeah.
And let's face it, he wouldn't want to knock him out.
Not with a face like this.
Yeah.
Have you seen these teeth? They've taken a long time to perfect these teeth. Right. No Mercy previews.
Women's though. Let's talk about the women first.
Fine. Yeah, I think that it was an interesting progression with Alexa. And
I like her Harley Quinn look.
Absolutely.
And she's getting over with the fans.
She has so much potential. I cannot even say. I think she has got as much potential as as like a Trish or a Lita.
Yes.
She's gorgeous. Her moveset is improving all the time. Her mic work's really improving. It's the same as Carmella.
Yeah.
But I think Alexa's got slightly a bit more potential. She's got a bit more to her.
Yeah, I think, and it says that she's in the Women's Championship match and Carmella isn't. Carmella versus Nikki Bella. Carmella has said that she will end Nikki Bella at No Mercy.
Can't see it, but I
don't think John Cena will be too happy with if she gets ended at
No Mercy. And I'll tell you what, I started watching that Total Bellas. What a great show.
Yeah.
I only watched 2 clips of it and I'm addicted.
Yeah. Shows like Total Divas come WWE, Total Bellas, they are addicted.
Fantastic.
Like that.
It's that WWE network.
Yeah.
That
damn WWE network.
That damn WWE network they've made a trillion pounds on.
Yeah.
So our previews very quickly because we're getting up to our half an hour mark.
Yeah, and I'd like to mention Goldberg at the end of the previews.
Okay, so let's take first of all the matches that we think will probably be on the card. Maybe the Intercontinental title match first. Miz, Ziggler, career versus title.
I'm going to say that unfortunately, Dolph, your career is over, and I'm going with The Miz to win at No Mercy.
I think I am as well, and I think we'll see a Miz retirement special this week on SmackDown. I think we will see the returning Dolph Ziggler maybe in like a year or so, half a year. Let him take some time off, let the fans forget about him, let him have a redemption type match, let him have that sort of storyline, and build him up to be a world champion.
Yeah, I think he's going to go that way. Unfortunately, we never like to see career versus career or career versus title matches, but
I think he needs it.
Dolph Ziggler is going to lose his career.
Yeah. Carmella versus Nikki.
This is hard because I need to win that back, so I can't go with the safe option. I'm going to go with the Queen of Staten Island on this one.
Okay, we're going to go with the safe option because I want this. I like how this looks on my mantelpiece every night. I'm going to go with Nikki Bella.
Okay.
I think it'll be a great match.
Yeah, it will be a great match. Whether Nikki puts Carmella over by defeating her or Carmella continues the feud, whether Nikki has transcended into the role of John Cena, 3 matches to put over talent.
I think we'll see Baron Corbin,
Jack
Swagger again. I think we'll see I think we'll see a draw on this. I think we'll see a double disqualification or something like that.
I don't think it will be a match for either Swagger or Corbin. I think it will be a DQ or a count out for both men, because I think they can culminate it at Survivor Series.
Yeah, they can continue that feud for a little while, I think, as well. Let's think of the other matches. So we've got
the women's title, the Irish Lash Kicker versus Alexa Bliss. Are you going for Bliss Station at No Mercy?
I would like to see Alexa Bliss win over Becky Lynch. I don't love Becky Lynch, but you like Becky Lynch. Let's go bold. Let's say Alexa Bliss.
Okay, I'm going with Becky Lynch. I don't think Alexa Bliss is quite in the character yet that she gets given the title.
Okay. And you like Becky Lynch?
And I like Becky Lynch.
You love Becky Lynch?
Yeah, let's face it, I do.
Yeah. Tag team titles?
Tag team titles.
I think the Usos will get the shot.
Yeah.
But we did see, various other teams this week. I think we will see the Usos having a shot.
Yeah.
And I think that Rhino and Heath will retain their titles. I hope they do. I'd like to see them retain their titles. They've gone a little bit cold on that storyline the past couple of weeks. But I just think they need someone. I mean, part of the Vaudevillains against them. I think they're waiting for Jordan and Gable.
If the Usos are challenging them at No Mercy, the Usos will win. If they challenge anyone else, Heath Slater and Rhino will win.
Okay. I feel like you've got an unfair advantage over that prediction, to be honest.
You said that no matter who they face.
All right, I'm going Heath and Rhino because
I can't say Jay and Jimmy will claim them if they aren't even in the match.
I'm supporting Heath and Rhino right to the end. All right.
Yeah, so am I.
I will never not support them. The title match, our main title match. It's been real. We've been banterosaurus today, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
It's good. Better.
Obviously, I'm going to go with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, on this one. I would love the franchise to get a 16th world title, but I just can't see it happening with rumours going around that him and Ambrose are due to take a hiatus from WWE.
I would like to see the phenomenal one win. My heart says AJ Styles. My head says that we're going to see a 16-time world heavyweight champion, John Cena.
Well, my heart and head says you have to see a 2-time predictions champion.
All right. So next week is going to be slightly different because I'm going to be coming to you from Knoxville in Tennessee. So it'll be me on my own.
Yeah.
Which, thank God, it'll be me on my own because we get to put our earplugs in, and then if people want to skip your video, they can. They just want to hear my thoughts on it, they can.
I think I'll get the more views.
Okay, we'll see.
Before we finish, I'd like to mention Goldberg. He did a fantastic segment on SportsCenter with Coach yesterday, talking about a potential WWE return. Do you think it will happen?
I don't think they need him at the moment, and I don't think that the fans want to see another wrestler who's a bit part player, unless it was Shawn Michaels or Daniel Bryan, someone that's been a huge part of wrestling. Goldberg was a huge part.
Not even for Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg 2.
At WrestleMania.
Or sooner.
If it's at WrestleMania, I would happily see Brock Lesnar and Goldberg too.
Yeah, it'd be... like I said, I think WrestleMania 33 will be the best card, and the matches that they are portraying at the moment are huge.
And to have a match like that would be a perfect place to do it. It's, say, 10 years after their last match at WrestleMania. So it fits in nicely. It'd be a good storyline.
And they have general beef with each other. It's not just storyline beef, they have actual beef with each other.
I do think Brock Lesnar might kill him. I mean, there might be a murder in the ring.
I think Brock Lesnar just could about kill anyone.
I think the ring, it might be the first murder in a WWE ring.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar is scary. If he just goes a little bit above what he did to Orton at SummerSlam, boy,
I wouldn't like to be there.
We could have another Chris Benoit on our hands.
Boy. What a way to end. We've been the Smacktalking Amigos. You can follow us.
And check me out next week. I'll be on my own, thankfully.
#Kian, #James. Whichever one you support, please hashtag us.
No more James.
#No more Kian, I would say.
See you later, geez.
So, where can they find us?
They can find us at Smacktalking Amigos on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube at Smacktalking Amigos.
We've been the Smacktalking Amigos, guys. It's been a pleasure to be here today. We're going to finish with a Wyatt type finish, so